cloudy, stormy, rainy sunrise in the greater Burlington metropolitan area in central Illinois. This is VINCENZO'S crypto. Come. You come. That's right. You come. Legends designed for one-of-a-kind, company made, probability, based, trading alert, technical analysis, trading stuff. Remember, we're on Twitter. We've got about 10 or 12 of you now there. I think it's working out really well on Twitter, right? It's making it very easy and simple for me. Like I just posted, if you go check it out, a Matic trading alert, right? And I posted in a video yesterday on a potential hourly time frame falling or a bull flag, and then I gave you a potential breakout, right? And it's following that breakout, and it was simple and easy for me to upload it there, right? And a lot of people got to see it, they comment on it, they can save it, whatever they need to do with it, you know what I mean? So I'm really excited about how that's working. All right, just making sure my volume's on. This phone seems to have fixed the volume, randomly turning off. But it seems to work really well on Twitter. It's VINCENZO'S Gold Crypto Investing on Twitter. Here, I'll go to the page real quick while we're on here. See that? Look at that. VINCENZO'S Gold Crypto Investing on Twitter. See that beautiful trading alert for gold? See that? A little bit of a description up there. Matic breaking out of a bull flag we discussed yesterday. Price target. Come check me out on YouTube, right? Look at that. There's your price target at $2.72. We're halfway up the flag, but the volume's still crashing. So that's bearish, but we could make the bullish finish to the move and then crash, right? See how simple that is? And then people seem to like it too. Put that Bitcoin trading alert out, right? Everything looks good on there. Go check me out. VINCENZO'S Gold Crypto Investing. I got the Indian head as my logo. I believe I'm the only VINCENZO'S Gold Crypto Investing, right? So check that out on Twitter. It seems to be working very good and the people like it. Now, let's go into a brief market share. Or actually, I'm going to start with gold real quick. This is an emergency plea to my subscribers. You have to start buying gold and silver mining stocks. You have to start buying physical gold and silver bullion of at least a small percentage of your net worth. To make math easy, if you have $1 million net worth between stocks, real estate, bonds, whatever the cash, you need to have 15% of 10 to 15% in physical bullion, and then another 5 to 8% in silver bullion, just as a store of value because of inflation. In my U.S. audience and worldwide, supply chains issues, we're paying people not to produce, to sit at home and consume. If you have no production, but you have a lot of consumption by those people that aren't producing, and they're getting paid to sit on their ass and eat and consume, you're going to have supply chain problems. You're going to have inflation. Lumber's at an all-time high, right? New house building in the United States is collapsing because the prices are so high. Consumers can't afford to pay for that, let alone the builders afford to build it, right? The costs are too high. The lumber's too high. The raw materials are too high. The commodities needed to build that property are too high, and you're starting to see a problem there. The used car market. You got plants, Ford laying off 10 of their major facilities across the U.S., a lot of them in my great state of Michigan, because they don't have the parts needed to build new cars, right? New car prices are at an all-time high. Used car prices are at an all-time high and at a 50% increase from year over year. Consumer goods, food, energy, gas, heat, electricity, TV, everything's going up, right? You need to have some, look at Facebook, we have a new friend suggestion. We'll check that out later. You have to start preparing and buying these cheap mining stocks before they explode like the Bitcoin rally did. And then most of you didn't buy Bitcoin for 3 years, but as soon as Bitcoin hit 60,000, you were jumping in. As soon as these altcoins, Ethereum, Litecoin, XRP, all these other fucking altcoins started skyrocketing, you guys, the retail traders, started jumping in. All the Robinhood stock trading groups traded from buying these penny stock, NASDAQ stocks, NEO, and all these electric solo, all that shit. You guys did a 180, and all those sites are 100% crypto now. The last 21 days, it really switched. Maybe 30 days ago now. And you bought the tops, and now it's rolling over, and the bubble's deflating, and you're going to get trapped. And it's going to be a long, painful 1.5, 2 year bear market crypto winter, along with not hyperinflation, but major inflation in the U.S. and around the world. And if you don't own gold and silver bullion and silver and gold mining stocks, you're fucked, right? You're going to be in a world of pain. You're going to your purchasing power and your wealth is going to evaporate. And you really need to get your shit together. Like Jim Harbaugh needs to get his shit together to beat and take down the criminal gangster cartel, the Ohio State University, that has infiltrated the United States and Federal Reserve to knock down and manipulate the markets to beat down the retail trader into submission and into poverty and government dependence. You're going to be beat down just like Jim Harbaugh has 21 out of 22 years if you don't start diversifying out of dollar-denominated assets and into commodities and mining stocks and physical bullion of silver and gold. Not numismatic or rare coins, bullion, right? And hedging at least 15% to 10%, like Jim Rickards suggests, on your own personal gold standard. Because if you got $1 million and you got $150,000 of that in physical gold and $15,000 or $18,000, $20,000 in physical silver, if you start seeing hyperinflation take off, like we're seeing major inflation take off now the last 12 months, and your dollar loses 60% of its value, the dollar crashes, yeah, you only had 15% in gold, bullion, but that $150,000 investment in gold might be worth $300,000 or $400,000 now, $500,000, $600,000, and it'll make up for the major losses in U.S. equities, U.S. stocks, and your overall purchasing power of your cash. And your stocks might go up, say 200%, but when you cash them out, they've actually lost value from your original investment and purchasing power when you pull it out because prices have skyrocketed. See what I'm saying? You have to diversify. You have to be smart. Your time is really running out. You should have been preparing for this the last 10 years. But if you haven't, you have to buy your first bullion. You have to buy your first bar of gold now. Yeah, I know it's almost $2,000 an ounce again, but you got to bite the bullet and you got to buy that first bar. Because before you know it, it's going to be at $2,500, then it's going to be at $5,000, and you're going to be an eternity waiting for it to crash. But by the time it crashes, it's only going to crash to $2,500, right? Buy your first ounce now. If in 3 months it goes down $500 an ounce on some fluke crash because the overall economy starts having a liquidity squeeze and a liquidity problem, and people are siphoning off assets that were in profit to pay down margin and debt, you just buy another ounce, right? You buy 2 of them. But it's time to start buying. It's time to start making a plan. It's time to get your shit together. It's time to take Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing, gold and monetary policy serious, because you're going to be wiped out and it's going to be a disaster for you if you're not prepared as this inflation train has taken off and there's no bringing it back in. Once the genie's out of the bottle, it's out. You can't shove it back in, right? It's not like Kazam. You're fucked. And if you haven't had any mining stocks, no exposure to them, when that train takes off, it's already started, but it's been consolidating for 9 months. As soon as that train takes off again and you're not on it, it's too late and you're fucked, right? You got to take it seriously. I highly recommend that you start taking my gold alerts, my monetary policy serious. Inflation is here. You can't hide it no more. You can't deny it. The Federal Reserve and the communists in office have tried to hide inflation by rigging the consumer price index, the CPI, to not show inflation. They changed the metric back in the 80s to fuck the people out of Social Security, because that's how they base their wages, based on inflation. That's how they adjust their annual Social Security increase out of that Ponzi scheme, right? Where you need old buyers or new workers to pay old workers. And then me paying into it now, I need to hope that there's new workers when I retire at a higher number to pay more taxes to pay my benefits, aka Bernie Madoff Ponzi scheme. But when the government does it, you're allowed to do it. When the private sector runs a Ponzi scheme, they throw you in jail for the rest of your life, right? See how that works? All right, now that I got that out of the way, let's go to my market share real quick before I get to work. We're losing some volume. I haven't had as many videos. The price was pumping a little bit. People know me as the Bitcoin bear, so they come to me when the price crashes. So when this relief rally starts to roll over on itself, I'm going to be back up near 2,600 was where we peaked at. Good volume today, though. We've broken 120,000 impressions. We're going to be at 1 million before you know it. Audience, female, my marketing director lady, I might have to get rid of you because we're slipping. The 18 to 24-year-olds holding solid. The 25 to 34-year-olds are gaining more ground, which I like. We can educate them on free market capitalism and Austrian economics and freedom and prosperity, and how democracy and Keynesian economics and debt-based system leads you into slavery every time, because you can vote yourself into it, right? 35 to 44-year-olds were holding firm and gaining market share. I love that. losing market share in the older group, but I more would like to have the young group to influence them, right? Because they're being brainwashed into communist and socialist type thinking, and that's bad. The United Kingdom, we're rising. Australia, skyrocketing along with Canada, eh? I love each and every. Malaysia, look at that. We're growing. We must be having some problems in Malaysia and Poland and Germany with their fiscal problems because we're skyrocketing in the rankings there. And I love each and every one of you. Malaysia, Canada, eh? The land down under, Australia, Poland, Napoleon syndrome. I love each and every one of you there, and we continue to hope to gradually and steadily increase our market share there and our influence on monetary and fiscal conservatism and Austrian economics and personal and state sovereignty and freedom, right? For you to be able to keep the fruits of your labor and not have it stolen by a communist or a socialist country, government, and people, right? They kill the middle class. The only equality you get out of those systems are equally poor, right? Ireland, we're not moving up. Bolivia, welcome Bolivia. Hey, I haven't seen you on here. Mexico, 0.1 checking in. Cyprus, France, they've been there. Just like some of these other ones up top that were down there. Now they're gaining market share. Very exciting. Multiple updates to come today on Bitcoin. We're running into major overhead resistance. And it's going to be very interesting to see how that interacts with falling volume, right? To see if with this falling volume and rising price the last 2 days, if it can generate enough steam to try to break that overhead resistance, or do we start breaking down like I suspect, that white line right here with our pointer tool, that's major overhead resistance. And then this is major long-term resistance from way back in 17, which I'm going to start getting into when I release my first hour class, right? But I got to get into work here and start my day. This is just a quick update. I'll release part of this today, and then the whole thing will be put out in my morning radio show that I like to do at 6 a.m. Eastern every day. So you guys know at 6 a.m. for 15 to 25 minutes, when you're getting ready to go to work or you're in your car, you can get caught up on Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing. Prior day, current thoughts, and future outlook on the show. Peace and love. Peace and love. Smooth Jazz 108.7 Detroit AM/FM. Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing Radio Network LLC. I am not a financial advisor, nor do I play on my own radio show. I am not able to recommend, offer, or give you any financial information. This is strictly educational and entertainment purposes only. Peace and love. Peace and love.